Have you ever actually asked yourself why you buy a product? Maybe you should. Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. I'm finally starting to get back to regular kind of content from our big trip. I got my laundry done. I got my Kitchen Table TCG shirts on. Today we're rocking the zombie t-shirt. You can pick up these at KitchenTableTCG.com. They do come with a token as well that gets shipped separately. And so back to regular content, back to the regular kind of conversations. And one of the things, the reasons that this channel existed is that I love to talk about card games and the mechanics and the world of cardboard, but my wife did not want to hear it. So I started this YouTube channel. And today I was just thinking about the way that people purchase products. And I understand that you as an audience, you come from a variety of different backgrounds. Some of you just play, right? You're players. Some of you guys are just collectors. You've never played a TCG before in your life. Some of you guys have an actual business that's connected to it. So there's a lot of different factors that go into it. But something that I've realized at every set release or every new game release is that when nobody wants the product, nobody wants it. And then when everybody wants the product, everybody all of a sudden wants something. And it's just this weird dichotomy in the trading card industry where you could see something that you didn't want 6 months ago when it came out. Let's use Modern Horizons 3 as an example. I don't know if there's anybody who saw Modern Horizons 3 and said, I'm not interested. But let's pretend that there was. Modern Horizons 3 came out and people said, you know what, it's too expensive, I don't want it, right? And then all of a sudden today, after it's been successful and the market is, good on it and it's up, it's higher than it was 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden today I get all these messages from people, hey, I'd like to buy Modern Horizons 3. Hey, I'd like to buy Modern Horizons 3. Hey, I'd like to buy Modern Horizons 3. And it creates this world where even though you don't actually want something, because everybody else wants it, you try to buy it and you go in and get it. The same thing happened with Star Wars Unlimited. I offered Star Wars Unlimited, the first boxes to the supporters of my channel at roughly, $10 over cost or something like that. It was incredibly cheap. Nobody bought it. Literally, I think I traded 3 boxes for some sorcery. That's the only person who picked it up. I was really excited about it. As a business, I said, this is something I'm going heavy on. I still picked up a bunch of boxes and we created it locally. Now people are asking me for Star Wars Unlimited all the time because the market has accepted it. And maybe there's just let's dive into why this is, right? One of the big reasons for this is lack of risk. There's far less risk if the market has already accepted something. And honestly, man, if you're going to run a business in this industry, you have to just accept this incredible amount of risk. You just have to accept that that is the way that the industry works. If you want to be successful in this industry, you have to accept risk. That's what it is. I haven't done a whole lot in other industries, but what I've heard from a lot of people is that the risk level is much higher in TCGs because in most industries you don't have a product that comes out that is what your entire business is made on that can just flop. Looking at you, Commander Legends, Baldur's Gate. Looking at you, Murders at Carlisle Manor. Sets that come out, you put a lot of money in, they completely flop. So maybe part of that is the decrease of risk that you see once the market has already accepted it. But the heart of what I want to get to in this video is helping to encourage conversation away from this kind of FOMO attitude. And don't get me wrong, okay? FOMO is fear of missing out, if you didn't know that. But don't get me wrong. I want you as a customer of mine to FOMO into buying stuff. Okay, there's a part of me that wants to tell you Modern Horizons 3, go into 1K, go buy the boxes right now. Because there's a part of me that wants to do that. But it seems disingenuous, so we're not gonna do it. Here's my kind of heart for this video. If you are engaging with a game, if engaging with the game with a community isn't the highlight of your time in the cardboard game or world, then you need to move on. Let me restate that, okay? If spending time and engaging with this hobby with part of a community is not the focal point of why you enjoy the hobby, I think that it's time. I don't think these hobbies are for you. I think a lot of people engage in this. The only thing they're doing is buying product. And so when they see the market moving up, that's why they buy it. There is far easier ways, far less risky ways to make money than buying boxes. There is. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of really different fun ways to engage in the community. I'm not saying that you have to be a player, right? That's obviously one of the biggest ways. Playing the game. And like for Modern Horizons 3, let's use that. There's a lot of different ways that you can play Modern Horizons 3 without spending the $425 on a booster box, right? You can buy singles, you can draft, play with the play boosters, you can pick up a bunch of, loose cards or whatever, add them to your commander decks. There's a bunch of commons, uncommons that are actually really good in the set. So there's other ways to engage with it. And that's like why I think players, there's a huge dichotomy, a huge difference between the average player in a store and the average viewer on YouTube. It's wild. Hearing your guys' comments mixed with like comments I hear in my store, it doesn't transition. There's a huge gap between people who watch YouTube content and people who are actually actively playing at LGSs. And this brings me to the second point. I think that the gap here is that people who watch content like this probably don't have a community at home of which they interact with. So this becomes your community. The live streams, Sunday night and Monday night that we do, and that is a really great way to engage with the hobby. So if engaging with a game, with a community in that way is the highlight, then that's great. I think that you're avoiding the FOMO attitude, where I think that people get into a trap. The part of this industry that I think is a trap is when you don't have any way to engage in the hobby other than buying product, what you end up doing is just buying more product. This happened in the pandemic where we couldn't get together. Online communities hadn't really formed yet. You couldn't get together and whatever. And so everybody started focusing their energy went to, well, if I can't play, then I'll build a new commander deck. If I can't play or if I can't whatever, if I can't hang out with my friends, then I'll buy some product and I'll enjoy the hobby in that way. And then we saw the prices go up. And so I think that there's this kind of broken element to card games where if you don't have the community aspect, if you don't have a way to engage with a community, you end up FOMOing into more and more product that you don't actually want. It's just the way that you engage with the hobby. It's how you feel like you're part of the culture. It's how you feel like you're part of the organized, community of Magic the Gathering, whatever card game you want. So my encouragement, I guess, or the thing that I'm suggesting is to really evaluate why do you buy product, and is there other things you can do with your time to engage more deeply with a community. I've said this on the channel multiple times. Creating a YouTube channel or creating a Whatnot account and being part of a business side of that is a really great way for those of you who do not have a local place to organize and play and engage in the hobby. It's rewarding both from a financial standpoint, but also like being able to engage in the hobby and have fun, even though you don't have that kind of bigger community. I think that's a really great way to do it. Cracking singles, I think the other side, in other words, if you're not going to do a business, I think that there's easier ways to invest and to collect. So a little bit of an all over the place video. I wanted to hit this with Modern Horizons 3 doing so well, because I do think, man, in 2, 3, 4 weeks, there's gonna be a lot of people FOMOing into boxes. We're seeing this right now with like Lord of the Rings Special Edition and Lord of the Rings Collectors, where for a while they were $400, now they're approaching that like almost $550 into the 600s at some, the supply at the 550s is getting pretty low. So just the thoughts. Hopefully you have yourself a fantastic day. Let me know how you decide whether or not you're going to buy a product or not. And remember, if you weren't willing to pay $350 for it, ask yourself, why are you willing to pay $425 for it today? Have a great day, everybody. Be kind to the people around you. See you again next video.